Hey guys, today's video I'm going to chat about how to prep your skin accordingly depending on your skin type and get it ready for your makeup application while we do my favorite current makeup routine. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and use a toner on my skin. Toners are good for everyone's skin. It doesn't matter what kind of skin type you are. There's usually a toner that's going to suit your skin type. If you're oily, you could look for something that is a little bit more mattifying or something that fights oil. So when I learned skincare, we always learned fight oil with oil, but you had to find the right oil to fight it with. I use the Eminence Rosehip oil, and that for me turned me into a normal to maybe more combination skin type over the years instead of oily. So you have to find what works for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my makeup today with a toner. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Toner. So the one thing to note that if you're going for a glowy skin makeup look, you have to remember if you're oily, we have to make sure to mattify the natural oil to get that glowy look. So you don't want to look greasy, you want to look glowy. So if you're an oily skin type, you're going to want to start with your moisturizers or whatever you use typically for your skincare and let that soak in for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, sometimes if you're in a time crunch, I would suggest as soon as you get out of the shower in the morning to do it while you're finding your clothes, doing other things, but try and give yourself the time for that to soak into your skin. So I used to have an oily skin type and I always reached for the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, I think it was, and that was immaculate. I love it. To this day, I would still use it. When it went on, it felt like just the smoothest blurring effect, and it really minimized the look of the pores. If you have a bigger pore size from the oils coming through, that really mattified it and made it go away a little bit. And I found the makeup just lasted so long with that primer. And nowadays you can go ahead and grab the e.l.f. Power Grip. And this is also a huge favorite of a lot of people right now. And I always keep this in my kit for the people that have like the combination skin or more of the oily skin types. So you definitely, if you have an oily skin type or a combination, you're gonna wanna put a primer where you get oily or where your makeup is gonna slip off. Doing skincare, I kinda always said you're either a dry combination or oily. There was really no normal. There is always something underlying. So today, are you a little bit more dry? Even if you feel like your skin is always good, no breakouts, no wrinkles, no nothing, you still probably have something going on that we can put something on to enhance your skin. So I have about a probably drier skin type right now. So I'm gonna use skincare that gives me that extra hydration and that extra glow within. Whereas, like I said, if you're oily, you're gonna wanna use a primer to mattify that, and then we can add the glowy products on later. And if you're a combination, you're also going to wanna put some, most likely you're probably a little bit oily in the T-zone. That's normal. It's very common, and you're gonna wanna put your primer here. Maybe on the cheeks and neck, you're gonna wanna hydrate that and use more hydrating moisturizers or creams or lotion. I already did my toner. Sometimes I'll go ahead and use a moisturizer too. If you're really, really dry, you're gonna want that extra hydration. Today I'm gonna use the Lumi Glotion in L'Oreal shade 902, and I'm gonna go ahead and just slather that on. This is my absolute favorite, and it gives a nice moisturizer effect with a beautiful glow within, and just put it all over. It also gives a really nice skin tint. So now it doesn't matter what skin type you are, as long as you've done your base, you're ready to go, you can put this on. I like to go right under the eyes with it. Now, if you are mature skin or you feel like this creases a lot, you can go ahead and skip that step if you feel like it's going to show in your creases or make your concealer come off faster. Me, I use it all the way under and even around the eyebrows. It doesn't seem to affect any makeup for me. It really holds the makeup on for me. So don't mind my skin today. I'm having like a winter reaction. It happens. Sometimes I also have psoriasis, so I'm praying that that's not like the start of psoriasis on my cheek. I do get very sensitive skin, so some products make me a little bit rosy. So if you notice that, just go ahead and ignore that. That's just normal skin. So after the Glotion, you're gonna wanna go ahead, and my everyday look right now is looking more like less foundation and more color correcting with concealer. Now, when it comes to skin types and foundations and concealers, of course, there's going to be a not one size fits all. It's kind of find what works for you. So of course, if you're super, super oily, you're probably not going to reach for the extremely hydrating, glowy foundation. And if you do, you're just gonna have to be sure that you're setting it really well with your primer and setting powder. And yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what not to buy and what to buy, but most of the time, if someone comes to me for makeup and they say, I get so oily, I need it to be set, sometimes we'll just stay away from too much of the glow within products to make sure that their makeup is staying on longer. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of color correcting and just give a natural effect with just concealer today. So yeah, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me and then the e.l.f. and this is the hydrating one. The mattifying one is really good if you are oily skin type or combination, and it's extremely good on the pore size areas. So for the under eyes, I'm actually going to use the one that's a little bit darker to my natural shade. And again, on the chin and around the nose. With the brightening, I'm just gonna go right here, a little bit on the corners. And if it just seems like it just needs a little bit of brightening, we're gonna go ahead and blend that in with a mixture of brush and fingers. So I'm gonna start with tapping in the darker shade here on the inner corner. I love the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I think that's one of the best drugstore concealers that you can ever get. And then with a brush, I'm gonna go over the lighter shade and just tap it in. You can see it just kind of blends in nicely without taking over the face and kind of creating a mask. I just really wanted it to give me a nicer complexion, and that's what we're getting. Now, surprisingly enough, lately I've been using a lot of powder products because I just need to get out of the door with my girls and bring them to daycare and get ready for work. And cream products are super fast, super easy, but so is powder some days. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this, and then we can go in with some powder products. What I find is so easy is I'm gonna use the same brush for my powder. We're gonna stipple that all over. And then I'm gonna go in with bronzer and blush with the same brush. So it's just been easier on my schedule lately. When it comes to setting powder and different skin types, I do find most powders can be used with most skin types. But there is a few that say like the e.l.f. Halo Glow. If you're an oily skin type, then you can go ahead and avoid that. But what I will add to that is if you've already primed your face and you've taken and done the steps to get that mattifying effect here, it's okay to use some glowy products now, because the glow should be coming with the products and not from your skin. When I'm doing a wedding or a client that has oily skin, I just am sure to tell them that sometimes you just need a little extra powder pressed into your skin. So my favorite way to do that is to take a little puff, a little triangle puff, and get very little bit of product and just keep lightly pressing it in here in the areas that you really need it. And then it's not going on cakey if you're putting too much product on with the powder at once. You can keep layering it really thinly, and then you're still getting the same effect, but it might just look a little bit prettier that way. So I've been using this Rimmel Natural bronzer lately, and it is shade number 20 and it's Sunshine. And if you look really closely, it's got a beautiful bronzy kind of a gold shimmer to it, and I find that really pretty, especially right now when I'm really porcelain. I just want like that extra sunshine vibe. So we're just going to go ahead and lightly brush it in and tap it in to the high points. You can kind of see when you get it on there, it gives that glowy effect. It's really pretty. I've had this in my bag for a while. I just haven't really grabbed it in a long time, so I forgot how pretty it was on your skin. I am a huge fan of cream and liquid blushes. Like, I find them just so easy to blend out, and it just makes your morning easier. But this week straight, I've just been grabbing the Essence, the blush, and this is in the shade 40 Beloved. And I don't know, I think it's just been my favorite right now. So much pigment, like so much pigment. And it's just a really pretty pink. like so much pigment. I've just been a huge fan of that right now. So this is such an affordable blush, and it's actually a dupe. So I'm gonna do another video on dupes here soon, and I believe this is a dupe for a very popular cream blush, liquid blush. So I'll be posting that soon. My next step for just an easy everyday makeup that I've been adding in, which I don't normally add this in, it's a dark brown brow pomade, and I've been using an eyebrow angled brush, and I'm just going on like the outer corner and just kind of giving myself a tiny little wing. So then it just adds like an eye lifting effect, and it took 2 seconds to do. It's a natural brown look, so it's nothing too noticeable, but it just looks like I kind of put effort into my makeup, even though it took me like less than 30 seconds to just slide it on. And to finish it off, I have some mascara on from this morning from working, but I'm just gonna tap on a little bit more. I like to curl my lashes lately. I find that makes a huge difference, and it just makes your eyes look much more alive. I think that's something I kind of always knew to do and just kind of keep forgetting to do it, because it's not something you just think of as curling your lashes first thing in the morning. So that's something you need to start doing if you love long, long lashes. Tap on a little bit of highlighter. When I say I'm going low key this week, I'm going low key, and this is just a step up of like wearing no makeup. So if I've missed anything in this video, I'm just gonna kind of do a rerun. If you have oily skin, you're looking for a mattifying primer. Primers are going to be your best friend, so is a setting powder. And I do find some setting sprays also can help. I know they're kind of like an iffy if they work or not to some people, but I do think specific setting sprays can help a little bit. I do think it's a lot in the hands of the magic of a primer and setting powder. Setting powders are just major. If you want your makeup to last, you need to be using a setting powder. If you need some really deep hydration and a moisturizer is not cutting it for you, try a serum, especially with hyaluronic acid in it. You're looking for something that is corrective, which is usually typically in a serum format because it goes deepest into your skin. It's not just sitting on top protecting like a cleanser and a moisturizer. You need something to target those concerns, then you're looking for a serum. And I know it's really easy to cheap out and get the cheapest serum, but make sure that you're looking into the ingredients and finding something that really works with your skin. Try a few testers out, really give that time also to work it into your skin. It usually can take up to 28 days for you to even see a difference in your skin with skincare. So give it some time. Don't just judge by the first time you use a product unless you absolutely dislike the smell or texture or anything. But give it some time for it to soak in and start to work onto your skin before you discredit your products. If you need hydration, you're going in with a really heavy moisturizer. Make sure you're giving yourself time to let that absorb and soak in, because if you're trying to put any concealer or foundation on a heavy, creamy moisturizer, you're just gonna be moving that product around and it's not gonna set very well. It might even turn out a little bit patchy. It's just gonna give you more of a run for your money. So definitely give yourself at least 10 to probably 20 minutes to let that absorb in. So do your eye makeup, get your clothes ready, curl your hair, do whatever you have to do and let that soak in. If you're a combination skin, you might want to do a mixture of a primer and heavy cream. Again, if you have oily skin and you're going for a glowy makeup look, I recommend trying to get the glow from your highlighting products, your glowy lip gloss, your shiny eyeshadow. You're trying to get that glow just like everyone else, but you might be getting it more from products, less from the Glow Within skincare. If you're a combination and you do want to use the Lumi Glotion or the e.l.f. Halo, Charlotte Tilbury Magic, you know, all those beautiful glowy products, maybe stick to using a primer here and then use this as your moisturizer on the cheeks, nose, and even a little bit here under your eyebrow bone. I know someone had asked for different skin types of how to prep for makeup, so I hope that was a little bit helpful. If you have any more questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I was a little bit MIA, just being a little bit busy with my kids and getting into the routine of getting back to work more and having some more time to do more videos and stuff now. So I should be back on here a little bit more, and that's exciting because I'm excited to try and get more content and products, and wedding season is just around the corner. If you're interested in seeing how I do makeup applications on people, put that in the comments, because I do videotape most of my makeups that I do, with their consent of course, on my Instagram and my TikTok account, which is Frankie MUA. And if you're interested in seeing them on here, maybe I'll do a couple in YouTube format. Again, there is so many products out there for each person. Something I like, you might not like, and something you like that works for you might not work for me. So definitely do your research into different skincare brands and products and see what works for you. My name is Frankie. I specialize in brow artistry and makeup now. Kind of took a step back from the full aesthetics a few years ago to really dig down into brow artistry and makeup, and I've been loving it. But I do still love skincare, and I used to specialize in skincare and facials, so I still know a little bit about that stuff, and I find that really helps when it comes to makeup. So I still really love skincare, and I love helping people out if they have any questions about how to prep their skin for makeup with skincare. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.